Hey there, thanks for watching. This is The Well-Behaved Wallet. I'm Christiana, and I am on a mission to get out of debt, stay out of debt, and live prosperously. So right now, where I am in this mission is the process of getting out of debt. I have $15,000 in student loans, actually $14,991 as of Friday, so yesterday. And on that mission, while I'm doing things right now that will actively move me toward getting out of debt and living debt-free, financially free is where I'm heading towards, I also feel like it's helpful to focus on where I want to end up, because they say you look towards where you want to be rather than staying stuck where you are. So I'm always looking for kind of hints and insider info on how to become what I really want to become, which is right now a person of means and of contribution. So I came across Gillian Perkins' video on what it really takes to become rich. It was a great video, and I'll link it below. She had 3 tips and things that wealthy people know and how they spend their time and their money. And these are things that if you read sort of any sort of wealth building or finance type, actually no, not finance, because personal finance is different, I think, than accumulating wealth. Because while the goal of personal finance is to accumulate wealth, sometimes I think we get so caught up in like the day-to-day, like the steps, that we forget where we're heading. So Jillian's video really broke down the mindset of what it takes to accumulate wealth and to help your wealth grow. So I am totally going to borrow or use some of her 3 tips and kind of talk about how they affect my life and how I'm trying to get better at them. Because again, focus on where you want to be, not where you are. So these are her 3 tips. Number 1, these are things that millionaires know that we regular people can totally learn from. Number 1, your time is your most valuable resource. This is absolutely true, because so you think about the resources that we have available. We have money, we have energy, and we have time. And of those 3 resources, time is the only one you can't get back. You can always do things that would generate more money. You can do things that would help raise your energy levels, but you'll never get your time back. Like I was talking with a friend about some decisions you made earlier on in life, and you're thinking about like how you ended up here, and like this person had maybe taken some time off and gone and explored the world and then came back, and while this person had all these wonderful experiences, they maybe weren't as far along career-wise as they wanted to be. But you think about it, time is something that you will never get back. So those experiences and that time was totally well spent in gaining that experience. So that's something that rich people know, wealthy people know, to always use to your advantage and really to make the most of your time. Point number 2 is your money can work for you. So like if you look at like the analysis of rich people's wealthy people's portfolio, you'll see that if you invest a certain amount, that money can absolutely throw off more interest than a salary. So when you get to that point where your money is able to work for you, then that's absolutely a wealthy people mindset. And I think about that right now, and like I'm in debt, I don't have a huge income, and I'm actively working toward becoming more financially free. Even still, I can think, okay, this money, rather than just viewing it as like an exchange of currency and like what can I buy with this money, I think how can I put this money to work? So I'll give you kind of a practical example. I started when I started this new job in April. I started putting aside $10 a week. And I don't even know, like, I'm not super sure, like the login info to that account is somewhere secret. Like I never look at it. And my idea with that is to have that set aside for long-term investing. And even as I'm on this journey to get out of debt, that money I am planning to make that work for me separately. So like I'm trying to stop myself from doing something more temporary with that, like taking it out to buy Christmas gifts. I'm trying not to think about it and to completely put it out of my mind. So that is how I am planning to have my money work for me in the future. And this is point number 3, which is probably the hardest for me. Hiring people is always a good financial decision. So that is super tough for me, because I am someone who would just rather do it myself rather than taking the time to explain it to someone. And in some things, it just is easier to do it yourself. But in other things, it's really helpful and a good financial decision to think to yourself, what is the end product that I want, and how can I get there? How can I ask someone to get there or explain it in a way that will get me to that end product? So, for example, I guess the most ready examples are things like cleaning and housework, things that you can outsource. And I do actively work toward that, but that is something that I need to get much better at, because at the level where I'm at, I mean, it doesn't super pay to pay someone because my time isn't worth that much at this point. But again, in little things, I'm trying to think, okay, how would I make this easier? How would I make this easy to tell someone what to do? Like, as I'm cleaning my house, I'm thinking, how can I make this easier for someone? Like, if I were to hire someone to do this, how would I explain this to them? And I'm working toward that step of being able to hire someone so that I can be off doing something else, like thinking of ideas to generate more revenue, working on properties that I own, and other things that will be a more profitable use of my time, while helping someone else out maybe in the process. So these are the three items that millionaires really understand and that help them in their wealth building journey. And I hope this has been interesting. I will put these three items below, and I'll link to Gillian's video. I'd love to hear your thoughts or things that you kind of feel like you've noticed about people who are wealthy and how they spend their time and their money. So thank you again for watching, and I hope that you'll keep watching.